Imagine that today NASA announces a landmark discovery. Signs of extraterrestrial life have been discovered, not just some bacteria or weird fish on distant planets, but ancient alien ruins on Titan, indicating the existence of a highly developed civilization. This might seem like it should be the greatest day in human history, but in reality it is terrifying news that could have catastrophic consequences. Why can the most exciting discovery in the history of human civilization turn into its death? Let's imagine the ladder of evolution, along the steps of which life rose from its origin to our present state. The first stage is inanimate chemistry, from which self-reproducing structures capable of change and development should have independently emerged. Then life became more complex, gaining the ability to build more advanced forms and use energy efficiently. In the next stage, the cells joined together to form multicellular organisms, leading to enormous diversity and even greater complexity. Further, some species developed large brains that allowed for the use of tools, culture, and collective knowledge, leading to even greater complexity. Such species became the dominant life form on their planets, changing them to suit their needs. The first timid attempts to leave their home planet arose. And here we stand at this stage of evolution. But the very nature of life is such that it strives to occupy all available niches. Because planets have limited resources and lifespans, species must find new places to settle in order to survive. Now imagine that we are not the only ones walking up these stairs. The extraterrestrial civilization we discovered on Titan may have gone through many more steps than we have, reaching incredible levels of technological and intellectual development. If they have already left their planet and begun to populate other worlds, then this means that they are a more competitive and dominant species than us. If this extraterrestrial civilization discovers Earth, then the likelihood of our survival will be extremely low. They may have technologies that will allow them to easily overcome our defensive systems. They may view our resources as their own, without regard for our right to them. They may even impose their will on us, depriving us of freedom and self-determination. There is also the danger of biological contamination. Extraterrestrial organisms may carry with them foreign viruses or bacteria that our immune system is not prepared for. This could lead to pandemics that devastate our cities and destroy entire nations. The discovery of an extraterrestrial civilization can, of course, lead to benefits. We can access new technologies, knowledge, and resources. But these benefits will be overshadowed by risks that far outweigh the potential benefits. This is why it is important to remember history. At the time of their appearance, Europeans were a more advanced civilization than the indigenous peoples of America. This allowed them to easily conquer new lands, enslave the local population, and exploit its resources. A similar scenario could happen on a cosmic scale if we are not careful enough. Rather than rushing to contact extraterrestrial civilizations as quickly as possible, we should approach this possibility with caution. It is necessary to develop an international protocol for interaction with alien beings and create a unified defense system to protect against potential threats. Additionally, it is important to invest in research and development so that we can prepare for any eventuality. The discovery of extraterrestrial life could be a turning point in our history, but it is critical to understand its potential consequences. We must approach this issue with caution, wisdom, and a sense of responsibility, if we are to ensure the survival and prosperity of humanity in the uncharted depths of space. Extremely difficult, and perhaps impossible. This is the great filter, a challenge or danger that is so difficult to overcome that it destroys almost every species that encounters it. There are two scenarios. The first means that we are incredibly special and lucky. The other means that we are doomed and practically already dead. It depends on where the filter is located on our stairs, behind or ahead of us. Scenario 1. Scenario 1. Filter behind. We are first. If the filter is behind us, this means that one of the steps we have gone through almost impossible to take. What step could this be? Is life itself extremely rare? It is very difficult to make predictions about how likely this is for life to arise from dead things. There is no consensus. Some scientists believe that it develops wherever the conditions are right. Others think that the Earth may be the only living place in the universe. Another candidate is the stage of complex animal cells. At this point, a very specific thing happened, and as far as we know, this has happened exactly once. A primitive hunter cell engulfed another cell, but instead of absorbing it, The two cells formed a union. The large chamber provided shelter, took care of interaction with the environment and provision of resources, while the smaller one enjoyed his new home and free things, focus on providing plenty of extra energy to its owner. With abundant energy, the host cell could grow larger than before, and build new and expensive things to improve yourself, while the guest became the powerhouse of the cell. These cells make up every animal on the planet. There may be billions of planets in the Milky Way covered in bacteria, but no one except us has reached our difficulty level or intelligence. We humans feel very smart and sophisticated with our crossword puzzles and romantic novels. But a big brain comes first. A very expensive evolutionary investment. They are fragile. They don't help in a fist fight with a bear. They require huge amounts of energy. And, despite them, modern people were needed 200,000 years to go from sharp sticks to civilization. Being smart doesn't mean you automatically win. Maybe the intelligence just isn't that great and we are lucky that it worked for us. Scenario 2. The Great Filter. Many other civilizations may have already disappeared when faced with an insurmountable obstacle known as the Great Filter. Its danger is orders of magnitude greater than any difficulty we have ever faced. Even if a massive catastrophe wipes out most of humanity or sets us back thousands of years, we will likely survive and recover. If our civilization survives, despite millions of years of restoration, the Great Filter will be what sets us back to the beginning of the path to potential galactic expansion. On cosmic timescales, millions of years are just a fleeting moment. To qualify as a Great Filter, it must pose a deadly threat so destructive and pervasive that it has destroyed most, or all of the advanced civilizations in our galaxy over billions of years. The dispiriting hypothesis is that once a species achieves dominance on its planet, it sets in motion self-destruction. Technology can be a powerful catalyst for this process. The likely culprit must be so obvious that almost every civilization discovers it, and so dangerous that its discovery almost inevitably leads to existential disaster. These could be large-scale nuclear war, nanotechnology out of control, genetic engineering of an ideal superpathogen, an experiment that ignites the entire atmosphere, superintelligent AI that accidentally, or intentionally, destroys its creators, something we can't even foresee right now. Some scientists suggest that species competitive enough to take over their planet will inevitably destroy it as they compete for resources. The Great Filter may not be an isolated event. Rather, it may be a series of successive obstacles that civilizations must overcome on the way to their goal. These barriers can range from physical, energy crisis, to cognitive, inability to solve complex social problems. Besides technology, another candidate for the role of the Great Filter is nature itself. Supernovae, gamma-ray bursts, and other cosmic disasters can periodically destroy developing civilizations, hindering their progress. Until we go beyond our planet and encounter other civilizations, we will not be able to definitively determine the nature of the Great Filter. However, its possible existence serves as a troubling reminder that our achievements must be approached with caution and wisdom.